Monty Pool, Zena Kada, I'm Kareth Burke. So we saw the fight, we saw the compete, the no quit. Monty, what are your takeaways from this game?
They played really hard. They tied the game up in the fourth quarter. They played from behind the whole game, tied it in the third quarter, and then didn't come back in the fourth. But they didn't play smart.
Why do you say that?
They didn't play smart. Shot selection. The Thunder had no rim protection. When the Warriors took advantage of that, it went well for them.
Okay.
But they took 45 shots from deep, which is fine if you make, I don't know, 40%. They made 31%. To me, it's that third quarter is when they came back. It took 6 3-pointers in that third quarter. 6.
Okay. You're saying just 6, yeah.
Just
they
6.
Didn't rely on that,
Just
yeah.
6. First quarter, they took 17. Second quarter, they took, fourth quarter, they took 13.
Okay.
13 of their 21 shots in the fourth quarter were from 3. They made 2 of them.
Okay. Now, I'm looking over
They made
here,
6
though.
of 8 inside the arc, though.
To the Warriors' credit, 42 points in the paint to OKC's 28. They did, with their personnel, it did look like they were trying to balance the offense, but the shots, you're saying the ones that they took at certain times?
I'm saying when they heard Chet Holmgren was off the court, he's the only guy who blocks more shots is Victor Wembanyama. When they heard Chet was out of the game, it would seem to me that they would go, you know what, the offense tonight, let's go at the rim and see what happens.
Yeah.
Jalen Williams is not going to stop anybody. So it just, watching the first quarter, I'm going, what are they doing? What are they doing?
Okay.
And they were just casting away. And I'm like, the rim is there for you.
Sure.
And then at halftime, I thought, okay, maybe they had a conversation because in the third quarter, they went to the rim. They won the quarter by 10 points. In the fourth quarter, they said, nah, let's go back to what we did in the first half.
Okay. All right.
Doesn't make sense to me.
What do you think, Zena?
No, I definitely see your point. We agree on the playing hard, absolutely.
Yeah.
And when it comes to just thinking about the shot selection, in the third quarter and the fourth quarter combined, in the second half, the Warriors went 1 for 10 in the paint. Now, in the restricted area, they were able to get a little bit more. They were able to get all the way downhill. But in the paint, they really struggled to get that, little floater or in just being able to meet up with the trees of the defense. And so I think that there was a little bit of, we missed those shots. I'm not going to take those shots. You saw Nate Williams miss some shots within that range. You saw Kristaps Porzingis miss some shots. We saw several different Warriors struggle to get those little bunnies off, and it felt as if they did decide, let's go out. This is the thing, though, that I will say I'm okay with the shots they took because a lot of them were open. OKC was not rotating nearly what we typically expect them to rotate like, and the Warriors were getting some shots that were wide open. There were some even, I think GP2 made a 3 in that corner, or at least attempted a 3 in the corner that I was like, spacing was a little tight.
Yeah.
Don't know if we need to do that. But overall, are we not entertained?
Precisely.
The Warriors came into this game with a 14% win probability.
Yeah.
And there were moments where they could have won this game.
Yep.
So that was great basketball, a big difference from what ESPN had last time when the Warriors played up against OKC, or primetime television. I don't know who it was that had that last game. But, yeah, they cleaned it up.
They were underdogs in this game, and they had a valiant effort against the #1 team in the league. We go into the first half, because actually OKC had their three-point shooting going on, arriving at an efficient 11 of 20 from, I think that was the total from halftime. Yeah, what did you notice about OKC getting hot from 3?
Well, I thought the Warriors defensively scrambled around, but there were too many instances where their rotation was just a little bit late and got off an easy shot, or an open shot at least. And I thought they got better in the second half than it was in the first half. First half was really, OKC was dicing them up pretty good. And I think some of that will be discussed before the game, where their shots weren't falling and maybe it affected their defense a little bit. But I thought in the second half, the Warriors played pretty good defense for the most part.
KB, I'm going to have to tap back into you as the analyst that we were together the other night against the Clippers. And when we looked at this game with the Warriors and the Clippers, it was a tale of two halves in terms of defensive energy. And that's what you saw happen again tonight, exactly as Monty pulled out. But yes, Monty pulled out of this game in the first half. The rotations weren't there. And you could tell this was a key adjustment at the half. This was something they spoke about because not only were the adjustments better or the rotations better, people were gambling even. Swarming folks. It was an energy shifter. They got up in terms of energy. So even if they weren't getting to folks and being able to stay in front of them, just because everyone's energy was up and they were moving on a string, if somebody blew past you, there was someone ready in help. There was someone ready to help double. There was someone ready to just be able to pick up the slack. Another thing we saw them kind of shift on is in the first half, they were doing a lot of doubling on Shea. And that didn't work because when you double on Shea,
I understand the strategy.
Right, exactly. Exactly, because when you double on Shea, you're leaving someone else wide open. Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, a multitude of incredibly talented folks on the Thunder side. And so then in the second half, you saw the Warriors go, we're not going to really double on folks. When we're going to double on folks is when they're out on the perimeter corners and you're just available, Draymond. Because Draymond's going to come in and be able to swarm and make you really uncomfortable and get the ball turned over.
Well, it looked like at halftime, the Warriors are like, we are still in this game.
Dub Nation, let me ask you something. How many teams can go into Oklahoma City, face a Thunder squad that just grabbed its 50th win of the season, play without Steph Curry again, and still make the whole building sweat in crunch time? That's why this loss feels weird, man. The scoreboard says 104-97 Thunder, but the vibe says the Warriors showed fight, guts, and just enough promise to make you say, okay, when this team gets healthier, yeah, maybe there's something here. Oklahoma City got win number 50, Shy dropped 27, and that made it 5 straight wins for the Thunder. But Golden State kept hanging around and cut a late 9-point deficit to just 2 before it slipped away. And that's the part I keep coming back to. The Warriors did not roll over. They were short-handed again, with Curry still out because of that persistent right knee issue, and ESPN reported he's set to miss at least 5 more games before another reevaluation. That matters because without Steph, the margin is tiny, the shot creation gets harder, and every road game turns into a survival test. But even with all that, Golden State still made the defending champs work. Now let's talk heroes, because there were some. Gui Santos went off with a career-high 22 points and 11 boards. Brandon Podziemski gave you 17 and 6 assists with just 1 turnover. Draymond added 16 and knocked down 4 threes. And Kristaps Porzingis came back after his illness absence, giving the Warriors 9 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block in 23 minutes. That is not nothing, man. That's a huge sign for a team trying to survive this stretch and get bodies back. And here's why I'm actually coming out of this game feeling more encouraged than crushed. Golden State won the rebounding battle, 47-42, won the turnover battle, and finished with 28 assists. That tells me the effort and the connectivity were there. The problem? The details. Free throws, man. Painful. The Warriors went 11 for 18 at the line, while OKC went 23 for 24. That is the game right there. Against an elite team on the road, you cannot leave that many points sitting on the table and expect to steal one. Even the TNT crew's point hit home. When you face a beat-up Warriors team with different guys handling bigger roles, it can be tricky early because the scouting read changes. But great teams adjust, and OKC did just enough late. Still, if you're a Warriors fan, the takeaway is not they're hopeless. Nah, the takeaway is this roster still competes, still scraps, and still has young guys growing right in front of us. So yeah, it's a loss, but it's also a message. With Curry out, with Porzingis only just returning, with the roster still patching itself together, Golden State went into one of the toughest buildings in basketball and made the West's best team earn every inch. And if that's the floor right now, then the ceiling, when Steph gets back, gets very interesting. That's my favorable read, and I'm standing on it. Now I want your take, Dub Nation. Was this a moral victory, or did the missed free throws make it too frustrating to celebrate the fight? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you still believe this team has another push in it, and subscribe if you want more Golden State Warriors news with real emotion, real debate, and real belief, because this thing, it is not over, not even close.